Now, racing in the Ballycrystal Stables 5-year-old mares race, and as they head up towards fence number 1, it is Yarra Greyjoy who's going to lead them on up the hill, being followed by No Restrictions, and they're being chased by Coda Vibe. Northfield, Minnesota is next, and then comes Orinoco Flow with Von Hallers. Weir Lane is next, and then Joe Hannigan, and Eglinton Road is the early back marker. So racing out over fence number 1, where Eglinton Road was a little awkward, and on towards the second, which comes up quite quickly. And out front, it is Yarra Greyjoy is going to lead them over with No Restrictions right up on the outside. Coda Vibe is in third as they take the turn now across the top of the track and begin to make their way into the back straight. They have a long run now before they meet their third obstacle. As out front, as they take the downhill run and make their way down along the back straight for the first time, Yarra Greyjoy and Brian Dunleavy leads them down from No Restrictions in second and James Kenny, and they've opened up a clear lead now from the third running. Coda Vibe. In fourth is Northfield, Minnesota, and Barry O'Neill, who'll be heading off to Thurles later this afternoon for the Hunter Chase. And then Orinoco Flow and Rob James. Next up is Von Hallers. Jack Hendrick towards the inside of Joe Hannigan in the light blue jacket, who's next. A couple of lengths to Weir Lane and Tom Hamilton, and last of all is Eglinton Road and Owen O'Brien. Now they continue down along the back straight, shortly turning left-handed up over fences 3, 4 and 5 before they pass the judge for the second time. And out front, with the advantage still, it is Yarra Greyjoy from in second spot, No Restrictions, and they're not so far in front now. The gap has been closed up by Coda Vibe, who's right on terms, a couple of lengths off the leading pair. Northfield, Minnesota still racing in 4. Next up behind these is Orinoco Flow, the debutant. Von Hallers and Joe Hannigan are next with Weir Lane as they go towards fence number 3 before they turn into the straight for the first time. Bad mistake there, Joe Hannigan hit it pretty hard. So turning in now, making their way towards fences 4, 5, 6 and 7 on this section of the track, and it's Yarra Greyjoy who's going to lead them over with, on the far side, No Restrictions. Coda Vibe is over in third, and they're being chased by Northfield, Minnesota, and they're being chased back in 5 in behind this group by Orinoco Flow, who's on the outside of Von Hallers, and then comes Joe Hannigan, Weir Lane and Eglinton Road. Racing up now to pass the judge, 2 circuits, 10 fences ahead of them in the opening mares contest, and it's Yarra Greyjoy from No Restrictions in a close second. Coda Vibe is racing in third, and then Northfield, Minnesota, and then towards the inside is Von Hallers. On the outside of this one is Orinoco Flow, and this one's being followed by Joe Hannigan. And then towards the inside is Weir Lane, and Eglinton Road continues to bring up the rear. Taking the fence now, that'll bring them around the top turn and on towards the back straight again, and Eglinton Road's gone at the back, the first casualty. Eglinton Road, horse and rider quickly away, no harm done. So into the back they go, and again a long run on the level before they meet the next. And out front, Yarra Greyjoy with No Restrictions, Coda Vibe, and just behind these in fourth spot is Northfield, Minnesota. As they continue on down the hill, Weir Lane is trying to make a little headway, but in fact it's Von Hallers rather who's making the headway on the inside of Orinoco Flow and Joe Hannigan. Weir Lane is in fact the back marker. As they continue down along the back, out front, no change, Yarra Greyjoy with not too far away on the outside is No Restrictions, being followed by Coda Vibe, and then Northfield, Minnesota with Von Hallers a close 5. And then towards the outside is Orinoco Flow, and then Weir Lane is just about relegating Joe Hannigan to the back spot. So they race right down to the bottom point on the track, and then they'll rise, bringing them up towards fences 8, 9 and 10 before they head off on their final circuit. And out front it is Yarra Greyjoy from close and second on the outside, the blue of No Restrictions. The 2 orange jackets keep company. On the inside it's Coda Vibe, and on the outside it's Northfield, Minnesota. Orinoco Flow is close in behind them, and they're being chased by Von Hallers. Weir Lane is next as they take the fence before they turn into the straight. Orinoco Flow took a chance at that one as they turn in now and make their way on towards the next. This is 7 fences from the finish. As they come to it, out front it is Yarra Greyjoy with, for company on the outside, No Restrictions, and right behind them in third, Northfield, Minnesota and Coda Vibe towards the inner. As they come towards the fence, which will be their last in a circuit's time, Yarra Greyjoy on the inside. Towards the outside, racing along for company is No Restrictions. Coda Vibe is racing in third, and then Northfield, Minnesota. Orinoco Flow is on the outside of Von Hallers, and then is Weir Lane, and last of all is Joe Hannigan. Up the hill they go now, and on towards 5 fences from home. And on the outside of Yarra Greyjoy, it's No Restrictions. Right behind this pair goes Court of Vibe, and they're being followed by Northfield, Minnesota, as they race now towards the fence up at the top of the hill. And it's Yarra Greyjoy who's over in front from No Restrictions and Court of Vibe. Northfield, Minnesota's next, then Von Haller's Weir Lane. Orinoco Flow's just lost position by 1, and Joe Hannigan's the back marker. So turning now into the back straight, and Yarra Greyjoy is just beginning to stretch on a little again and force the pace. So it's Yarra Greyjoy who's trying to inject the tempo in here now. No Restrictions isn't going to let this leader away. They've opened up by 8 to 10 lengths or so over Court of Vibe, who bridges the gap to the main body of the field. Northfield, Minnesota is next, and then comes Orinoco Flow. Behind these, Von Hallers has lost a position. Weir Lane's on the inside of Joe Hannigan. Down along the back straight they go. Yarra Greyjoy with No Restrictions, a good half dozen or more back to Court of Vibe, Northfield, Minnesota, and then Von Hallers, and then towards the outside Orinoco Flow. Weir Lane, back marker Joe Hannigan. Racing right down now towards the bottom of the track, shortly climbing to go towards the third last fence. And it's Yarra Greyjoy and No Restrictions making a brave effort up front. Court of Vibe is third, and then Northfield, Minnesota, Von Hallers and Orinoco Flow. Weir Lane is next, and they're getting away from Joe Hannigan, who's a half a dozen lengths further behind. Over the next, and it's Yarra Greyjoy, who's been ridden along now as Court of Vibe is trying to get closer. Orinoco Flow was a faller there. Lost Orinoco Flow, who would come under pressure in any case. Racing now towards the second last, and it's still No Restrict, and Court of Vibe now has come through now to take a share of the lead. Yarra Greyjoy has dropped back, and Von Hallers is trying to get involved as well, and Von Hallers now has swept through on the near side of Court of Vibe, and a mistake by No Restrictions, and it's non Von Hallers on the far side. Court of Vibe puts her head down the near side and begins to mount a big challenge. Von Hallers the far side, near side Court of Vibe, and they're being chased home by No Restrictions. Weir Lane for 4, and next up to Northfield, Minnesota, who is 5, and the 6th and final finisher was the long-time leader Yarra Greyjoy, because pulled up at the last was Joe Hannigan.